But I want for sure to say, as leader of the Sierra Leone People's Party, I don't lead at one point in the history of this country. At a watershed moment, I make decisions we make Salon Don they will say it today. My name is Samura Kamara. I'm the flag bearer for the APC party. I'm going to take over from President Nkrumah as the next president of Sierra Leone. And I ask for your support because we believe in President Nkrumah, which he don't do for we. And therefore, when he choose me for let me can continue the good work we don't do and for do more.
Just 4 weeks ago, we confirmed that we have 2 billion barrels of petroleum. Yes, sir. The poorest country in the world now discovers 2 billion barrels.
Breaking news. The Coalition for Change, C4C, don't get the final party certificate. We go bring you the detailed news stories. We go bring you the interviews for all the people that were involved inside C4C. But right now, we broadcast from the entertainment division.
All the supporters will let them conduct themselves for a peaceful election. You know, means say you know go campaign to post it within another party.
People must understand that the situation then and now are different. As a political party, we weighed the pros and cons, and we are convinced that at that time, since we did not qualify for the runoff, we should lend support to APC, believing that the flag bearer of APC, who is now the President of the Republic, would present a new type of politics in this country, which will take the country ahead of where she was at the time.
Hello, my family. Welcome to Sheriff's Broadcast Network, the place USA will bring Africa live to USA ever you day around the globe. Of course, today now we first broadcast in the new year. Of course, we want to take this opportunity for wish each and every one of you out there watching us today and any other time a happy new year. Of course, we wish you all the best of everything in the new year. We wish you prosperity, good health, longevity of life, and all the other good things that you wish for yourselves. You know, we hope say in 2018 could be a very good year for we all as Sierra Leoneans, and of course for Sierra Leone as a country. Of course, until you know say in 2 months from now, the country go through presidential, parliamentary, and local council elections in the country. And so that's not the main focus of everything what happen, around Sierra Leonean communities all over the world, not only in Sierra Leone, but all over the world. And so we all they share the moment, we all they put our hands on deck, we they make your individual contributions them for ensure, say, of course, we a country able for go before. So today we broadcast get for be about those kind of rhetorics, and of course, like I've been promised the last time, today we get for try with level best for bring you a fact check on the All People's Congress government since they don't take over the reins of power in Sierra Leone from 2007 all the way to 2017, which is 10 years. They don't in power in Sierra Leone. And of course, they don't present themselves again to the people of Sierra Leone for me them go vote them back in for me them stay in governance. And so for like any kind of thing in the happen, we want for do what we call performance appraiser. Performance appraiser, one for assess them, one for do an assessment, one for do a fact check for know exactly if they do a good job or not. Of course, we know say a very prevalent in Sierra Leone right about this time that a lot of people then they express their opinions about the APC, and of course people are not too glady, especially when you consider the fact for say, people then they still go to bed hungry at night, they not get food for eat, they are hungry. And of course, the youth of the country will make up the bulk of the population of the country, then still they go unemployed, they not get hope, then they live in hopelessness and despair. Most of them don't resort to, crime, including armed robbery, violence, and all the things that they go on in the country. And of course, we get for also take a look at the road constructions where the APC government don't do, of course, then one for user as the legacy going forward. So we get for take a look at all of these things today, just not because we hate the APC or because we're in favor of other political parties then, but because they see them as a moral obligation on we part for let we play with your own small role for able to bring the facts then to you. And nowadays in this world of technology, nothing is hidden. Anything where they do it out there in the open. So we all know what the APC don't do from 2007 to 2017. So we'll get for check that today. And of course, other developments then they will take place in the past week. The PMDC, the People's Movement for Democratic Change, they began their own convention. And of course, we also follow up on a political rally where the Alliance Democratic Party, the Olwena Muhammad Cameron Mansarein Party. And of course, we also follow up on a visit where the presidential candidate of the Sierra Leone People's Party, retired Brigadier General Julius Madabio, make to Belgium in Freetown, when a famous area, how that turned out to be. And of course, plenty talks the way people that they talk about the wife of Julius Madabio, how it interfere inside the politics of the SLPP, and that it poorly contribute to the success of her husband. So we'll therefore also take a look at that. Of course, we see the president and the presidential candidate of the APC, they make a visit to Kono. We'll therefore also take a look at that as well. So we get plenty of things then for bring come to now, even though we'll try for make this broadcast very short because we get very important meeting when they come up today. And of course, we'll get for look at that meeting. So we want for make you go stick around as we continue for unfold the programs then to that. And of course, we'll always take this moment in this new year for remember the heroes of the Ebola crisis we happen in Sierra Leone, especially Sheikh Umar Khan, when I've been doctor based in Kenema, and of course, Dr. Martin Mada Salia. We'll not ever forget about them. We want for dedicate this first New Year broadcast to then two heroes then they and to all other victims of the Ebola virus disease way before the people of Sierra Leone. So now that's what they bring come to now today, and we want for me to stick around as we continue for the program. Once more, Mina Ibrahim Sheriff, and of course I will be your host now, so stick around with us.
He was really talented. He's a doctor with a difference. Yes, it's going to take some time to bring the hospital back to its glorious days. It's going to take some time.
Oh, the late Dr. Martin Salia, may he so rest in perfect peace. He had passion for the job. He wanted this hospital to be the best in this country. He wanted to be see this hospital as the center of excellence in this country.
We need to check each and every individual, what you are doing. What are you offering in your own small corner that you could brighten that corner? How are you contributing in one way or the other to promote this place?
He is the kind of person, even a porter that is working in his office, sometimes he will tell the porter, go and bring me the broom today, I'm going to sweep.
But if the public didn't appreciate that whenever somebody has this kind of presentation, they should come. Because don't forget, by the time you have one contracting the disease, people are going to take care of a dead. Avoiding, hiding, taking care of that dead. Don't forget, by the time people are dead with the Ebola, they are more infectious than all. So if they take care of their burial or their own, 10 more will be infected.
May their souls rest in peace. Of course, Dr. Mada Salia, and of course, Dr. Mada Salia, and of course, Sheikh Umar Khan. Of course, Naden Tudende, of course, we continue to remember them. They are heroes. Of course, they do plenty good things them during the Ebola crisis. It's like you just send a military officer to go war front for go fight for a country. You know, now that kind of way they would look at them. They did a very good job, and of course, then fight for the country. So we want for always remember them, especially on this day when I will first broadcast. And so, ladies and gentlemen, and so today we get for also kindly remind you, in case you like what you do now, so, and of course you want to make a generous contribution, we ask that you do so. You go now you go gonna GoFundMe.com, and of course /SBN support fund. You go there, and of course now there you go able for get exactly, you go able for donate anything that you get. You go able for donate to me exclusively. And so we ask that you able for do that for me. If you like what you will do now, so we ask that you do that for me exclusively. All right. You're gonna GoFundMe.com/SBN support fund. That's where you go. Okay. So I want people there. I'm not saying I like what you would do now, but everyone for opening your hand for me out to read. So we appreciate if you go do that for me, right? Inside the new year. I want to tell you plenty. Thank you. Of course, we'll therefore continue for bring the programs then to you. Of course, so just like I would say, we'll do a fact check on the APC, and of course that fact check then I will therefore come to you right about this time. And of course, we hope and pray that everything they go on fine for we all this new year 2018. Of course, we'll pray for good leaders in Sierra Leone, and so now that we'll get for do. So one for me, stick around as we continue for bringing you the program. Stick around with us.
matter. You been tell me say you go stay by me all the time. When the trouble come, I no see you by my side. You been tell me, say, show me the love way I desire, the way I desire. When the rain they come, I now see you by my side. When the rain they come, I now see you by my side. Sweet desire, you know me sweet desire. Tell me what make you do this to me, my sweet desire. Sweet desire, you know me sweet desire. Tell me what make you do this to me, my sweet desire. It no matter, it no matter. Now say be say you go stay by me all the time. When the trouble come, I no see you by my side. You been tell me, say, show me the love way I desire, the way I desire. What you make you left me go? When the rain they come, I now see you by my side. I now see you, baby girl. When the rain they come, I now see you by my side. Sweet desire, you know me sweet desire. Tell me what make you do this to me, my sweet desire. Sweet desire, you know me sweet desire. Tell me what make you do this to me, my sweet desire. You tell me say you go stay. Show me the love. You tell me say you go stay. Show me the love. Namusuna, musuna, musuna, musuna. Namusuna, musuna, musuna, musuna. Namusuna, musuna, musuna, musuna. Namusuna, musuna, musuna, musuna. Sweet desire, you know me sweet desire. Tell me what make you do this to me, my sweet desire. Sweet desire, you know me sweet desire. Tell me what make you do this to me,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, that Nasa J with Sweet Desire. Sweet Desire, of course, that's the track title. Of course, one for say a lot of thanks to Sir J for doing that. Of course, you know, salon people that will get very good talents. We're not talented people, them. And so anything we'll put to mind to what they do unto perfection, right? So everybody knows that. And so me family, just like how we tell una, would it bring come to una a very honest assessment of the APC government, of course, from where they don't take power in Sierra Leone from 2007 all the way to 2017, that not 10 years. And so we get to assess them, we get to do a fact check, we get to look at their records, you know, for actually see how they be done they rule the country, what they be done they do in the country. And we know one for let people that think say will they do this because we hate APC or we like other political parties. If not be any other political party in power, and the same thing for do. And from this day forward, now that will get for they do to them all. Because if fine for let they do these checks and balances, you know, it will be a moral responsibility on every Sierra Leonean part for hold your government responsible, for hold them accountable for their actions, for what they do. And so now that's what they do now. So today we get for actually do a fact check, go step by step into everything what the APC don't do. And of course, you where they watch and me, we all know what be done they happen at the country. So if now anything all they talk about, you don't know say We'll not embellish nothing, we'll not fabricate anything, we'll just go straight to the point and talk about the issues. I think, say, all civilized nations around the world, we don't advance, we don't develop. Now, then kind practice system, now I don't help them for go before, because now when they put you in a position of authority, you know, say when you did at that position, you get other citizens of the country where they actually watch you, where they go ready for assess you and put you in a public for let people that know if you don't do a job for them, right? So I think, say, we are morally right. It's a moral responsibility on the part of every Sierra Leonean for do this kind of thing. So that's what we are going to do now. And of course, we ask that you sit tight as we bring this program to you. Of course, today, now, you know, we first broadcast in 2018, and so it is, we are bringing it to you with love, right? We are bringing it to you with love, and we want to wish you a happy new year, a new year full of good health and prosperity and every good things what you want for yourself. So we want for me to stick around as we bring this to you. Stick around with us.
And from the Aberdeen Lumley Beach Road to Vision Road to Juba Hills, all the way round the peninsula to Toke. From Sporo Wilberforce to Hill Station, all the way to the Jewel Crossroads. From Wilberforce to Congo Cross, through King Street and Signal Hill Road, and from Hill Station to New England.
Of a 100% government-funded pipe-borne water project, catering for most of Luawa Chiefdom's 81,000 inhabitants.
So they don't have this, they don't make now ground that, but how can they suffer for water?
I'm telling you. Calm down. Talk. 9 minutes. Talk. I kill boss. Slowly. Yeah, I'm 5 hours before that. Stop. Would I give them a couple days when they are 5 minutes? Now stop. Every single one in this man. Say that people will get this man. This man will be. Every single one in this man. Uno! Kubota!
Hello, my family. Welcome to Sheriff's Broadcast Network. Of course, this now we straight talk program. Of course, today we don't decide for bring an extraordinary, coverage to una concerning the All People's Congress government. Of course, una no say now una be don't give power to the All People's Congress government headed by His Excellency Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma from 2007, and of course next election will take place on March 7, 2018. So we want to take this opportunity today for able to analyze and assess waiting the All People's Congress government don't do for Sierra Leone in the past 10 years. The reason waiting make one for do this, right now we don't know say a necessary now a moral responsibility on the part of we all Sierra Leoneans them for able for put we hands on deck for able for move this country forward. And the only way this country go move forward now for put people there in position of responsibility where they go able for do things them right for the country. And the best way for do them now by assessing them. You they assess them like when you they send you picking at school where you don't learn book, time don't reach for letting teachers then give them exam for know if you don't learn the book and whether they forget double promotion or not, or whether they forget promotion or not. So we they do that assessment now so today because we feel say now a moral obligation on we part. We not they do them because we hate APC or we like other political party. We they do them because na APC na ain't on na power from 2007 to 2017, and if na be other political party be na power we for don't do the same thing. So we they do them today for able for really find out waiting the APC government don't do, and which kind of government where they meet and where they take that government they waiting and do up to this day, right? So now that what they do. Now for now able for do this thing right, we want to start by bringing to you how the SLPP government left the country, whether they hand over government give the APC, how they left the country, right? And so now that's what they talk about now so today exclusively. So first of all, under the SLPP, before the SLPP they hand over government to the APC, the world bodies, especially the World Bank, the IMF, and other industrialized countries around the globe, they don't talk say Sierra Leone are one of the countries that we don't just emerge out of war and where they keep the peace. Now the world, one of the most the best examples for that kind way they when I don't just come up and war, and of course when I don't hold the peace and things then they go fine. So SLPP now be in power when they talk that kind of talk day. Then apart from that one day, they don't talk say when a country will be there in a civil war, who say 50,000 Sierra Leoneans they don't die. About 2 million Sierra Leoneans they don't become displaced. Most of them don't become refugees. They never come back to the country. But then the country they go that peaceful way. We say when not able no halala, everything been quiet and peaceful. They say that one day now a very good foundation for economic growth. For let business they able for grow, let investors then come inside the country, may they help for for may they help the country for go before business wise. They say that now a very good foundation. Right? Then of course before the SLPP they hand over government to the APC, they don't already negotiate with the REF, they don't finish the war, they don't disarm the combatants, they don't demobilize them, they don't reintegrate them back into the community. All that one they don't do. In fact, that's been make way the country been get relative peace, and of course we been get a fragile democracy. The democracy will been get it be feel like a glass cup where you hold na your hand. If you slip na your hand and for don't pan stone, it is scatter. So with democracy being feel like a baby, we feel like that glass cup. So but even though if you feel that way, but still we been get democracy wherein the one that way they go represent we from the president to the parliamentarians to the local council, would they elect them? Elect them and go represent you. So that one day serve the whole world with the praise Sierra Leone for that one day. Then in fact, before the SLPP they hand over government to the APC in 2007, they be don't negotiate with all the one that way we don't give we money on loan. The World Bank, the IMF, other countries that will give we loan, they don't negotiate with them, and they don't able for wipe off all with debt. They don't left Sierra Leone as a debt-free country before they hand over government. So we'll not be get one grain debt. Nobody in debt, nobody pay we, right? Now, before then they even hand over government to the APC as well, the country economy be done steady, you know, everything will go steady economically, you know. Now then tell the way the US dollar now been 300,000 leons, one bag rice now been 60,000 leons, you know, 1 pint per mile now been 800 leons. You know, they exercise books the way we begin to go school, whether they write inside, now been 500 leons, right? So the economy be done steady. All man be the, even though not to all man be they afford, but the one that will be they afford, they be boku pass the one that will not be able to afford, right? Then of course, you know, say during the war, we national army began for become polarized, and so the SLPP began for train a brand new army, and of course then retrain the national police. Of course, we get plenty schools then where the war be done and bug. So where the SLPP come, either then build brand new schools or they refurbish them schools that we been there, then refurbish them all back, you know, so that we begin and go able for go back and go learn. Then of course, you know, SLPP began for build plenty healthcare centers then throughout the country. You know, we say, you know, we posting sick, they go there and go take care of her, or Bella woman in Bella they are, they go take care of them. So they build them kind area, then they plenty. And of course, even the road construction where the APC they talk about now, where we say they say that the #1 legacy they don't do in you know, infrastructure development. That road construction, the you will know, of course, during even the time where the 2007 election will take place, you will see say like the Maishakabo highway under the SLPP government, they be they pa make them roads then they, you know, the McKinney Pamalap highway, they be they pa make them roads then they. So the SLPP be don't already start this road construction before the APC government they take over governance. And of course, how about the extractive industries transparency initiative when at the EITI? The EITI now the body this way set up by countries them where they get natural resources such as diamond, gold, oil, gas, then get into and the way they come up from underground, where they come together and form this body for say then see how God don't give them countries here where they mine them and pull them from underground if for benefits them people them. So SLPP began for join Sierra Leone for that body day for let us know how we mineral resources that the benefits we, you know, for that body day then get a representative from the companies that were in the Canada country for mining resources then they get a representative from the government inside where now then they issue the license to the one that where they come for mining diamonds then they get a representation from the civil society, you know, where now the ordinary people then like a wiso now then they represent who they foresee how government they do transaction, government and the companies and they do transaction when it comes to their mineral resources, then they foresee if then they talk true, right? And so at the end of the day, Sierra Leone they do very well under that EITI arrangement before then they hand over government to the APC in 2007, right? And so let me take a look at the APC government, what did they do in Sierra Leone from 2007 to 2017, you know, until election they come. So you will get for go vote, especially you will be registered for vote for this election. You need for pay attention to the NTR, not to just for go vote for, you know, Mr. A, Mr. B, because you are into the same language, when you talk, you are into come up from the same tone, or when I go to the same school, or in you family with them, not to on the thing and then you get for votes. If you want for less salon go before, you want for votes on the basis of merit. You know, with that then you go put in a position of authority where then go able for do the work for the country. So let us take a look at the APC from 2007 to 2017 for know exactly what they don't do for Sierra Leone, right? All right, under the APC, you know, where they don't win the 2007 them, the #1 thing will happen, and we're not they forget about that one day because they give bad name to Sierra Leone. The first thing will happen under the watch. Now the plane will be full of cocaine and other illegal drugs that will be get for travel from Brazil across the Atlantic Ocean, and it can land at Lungi airports. And this plane where it left Brazil, they be done the track and down the United States, the United Nations, they be done the track this plane down till until it can land at Lungi. And when the plane land at Lungi International Airport, we then trace everything where they go on with this plane in which how able for get the right for able for enter the Sierra Leonean airspace for even land at the Sierra Leonean airport. One part the APC ministers the hand with the party playing in business, right? We all know that. So that makes Sierra Leone be get for look in the eyes of the world as a country where they harbor illegal drug trafficking. For saying our country all the bad drugs in the past, because now we country the drug before land, and now from we country that they distribute them to Europe and to other countries in Asia, you know. So that plane they be get for land, and of course APC minister hand with it, and of course then APC say, you know, we get for continue for embark on this road construction where the SLPP don't we don't start, right? So they embark on the road construction. But you know, before we even go further by this road construction, so if I for me could understand some of the facts about this road construction, so let we listen to the former Minister of Finance under the SLPP government, where now one person way they be authorized the road construction, the money how it been kind and all of that. Mr. John Oponjo Benjamin, let it talk about this road construction small. John, yeah, that brings me to the issue of the road constructions under the APC government. We know say before the SLPP they left power, the SLPP be don't begin for construct roads them, you know, in the country as well. So we want to know the money where the APC they use for constructing roads in Sierra Leone, whether the SLPP government may left any money in the coffers of government for going towards road construction in the country, or whether they take over and then spend money for constructing roads there when they construct.
Well, what do you know? At the time we have been there, we as the government, we when they do what do you call international bidding, or they do their road them. When they bid so that people the way they fund their road them, like they international financial institutions, they all they take part. So you don't just take contract and give somebody. Then they forget that you experts for Kade. For instance, during the day, now we do the McKinney road. Then we come back. Cambia, we don't give that contract. If we love the road, now we don't give the contract to one company. And then also, when I've been there as minister,
they have been seeing my Shaka, my 91 highway also. I will see a
yes, those are roads where now we don't get all the money where they just come now for can open up. But those were contracts all given under SLPP banner. But apart from that, where I did will be there as Minister of Finance. We go to World Bank. They give you a grant. It's not a loan. Give you a grant of $30 million. And that money they now we use for resurface both Kedema Highway. Then that same money back we use for do the Makedi Matutuka Highway. So those are monies when we've been getting from World Bank as grant, not a loan, no, as grant.
Of course, you don't listen to waiting Mr. John Oponjo Benjamin, former Minister of Finance under the SLPP government, don't talk about the road construction, right? So let us also listen to the National Publicity Secretary of the SLPP, when Lahai Lawrence Lima, waiting himself talk about the road construction where the APC government they claim say now they don't do it. Let us see waiting SLPP been do before the APC they come hand over government to APC. Yeah, that brings me to the issue of the road constructions under the APC government. We know say before the SLPP they left power, the SLPP don't begin for construction. $100 million
United States dollars just for electricity generation, and all they're able for GUI now 10% of the 1,000 megawatts we don't say them go provide. So basically, waiting now that where 10% of 1,000 megawatts is just about 100 megawatts in 10 years time, and 300 million expended in 300 million United States dollar expended in electricity generation. Even with the 10 megawatts where they don't provide, the light level and the G is inconsistent. It will take 3 days, some households not to get light. So when we also take them back on the road, when at the other flagship project, again, if you look at the road project, when they at the flagship project, it's so cosmeticized that they, in fact, most of the roads them way, in fact, then come now inherit the roads them. You think of the Maishaka Bow Road. This now project where SLPP left on at the period even when the elections be go on, the constructions be there on.
Right.
The Parmalat Mashaka Highway also now projects where SLPP left on, where the constructions be go on, even onto the peak of the elections. And also if you look at the Kenema Pendembu Road, these are projects where the SLPP left. What thing would be the expect APC for do, not only for complete them projects and the way them be meet, but rather for also take the project further. Like for we stop the road at Pendembu, what would be the expect them for do now for take them from Pendembu to Kailau.
Right.
But now I can tell you, from Pendembu to Kailau, the road is so terrible. And from Blama to Pujong, the road is so terrible that sometimes even the vehicles that will fly through that route, people end up for Kandong and walk across them, palm tree, where they cut and make a bridge, and try for fly and walk through for make the Muscat and pass. So largely what thing they happen? The road connecting from Blama to Pujong, people and they do a lot of foot walking that even the vehicle where they take them. When you also look at the road from Matrujon to Bo also is not connected. You look at Moyamba Junction also again to Moyamba Town is not connected. So waiting at this road project so APC they talk about. Let's come back to Freetown. Who side they don't do some just disservice to the people by just tarring few streets and way to the face of the people and try to make fool of the people. Even with the Donda street where they say they don't tar, at a heavy downpour where the rain pour heavily, the entire side where they put it just wipe off up to some distance. So this will tell you the poor quality of roads where they don't do. Let's come back to Wilkinson Road. When a 4.5 kilometer road. Wilkinson Road, 4.5 kilometer road, if we go by the World Bank standard, it's supposed to be $1 million United States dollar for 1 kilometer road. So which means the Wilkinson Road, when a 4 kilometer road or 4.5 kilometer road, supposed to cost 4.5 million United States dollars. Even when we talk about 1 million United States dollars by World Bank standard, now a situation where you do a new road, we are in sometimes you go for bush and create a broke the hill and make fresh road, not like paved road like this.
Right.
So basically, if we look at the Wilkinson Road, when I pave road, you go for spend less than even 1 million United States dollars. But I'll take them as it is that then spend 1 million United States dollars. So meaning the Wilkinson Road, where then do it's supposed to cost about $4,500,000 United States dollars. Now then spend 19 million United States dollars for do 4.5 kilometer road when at the Wilkinson Road. So you look at that huge kickback. Because if you subtract 4.5 from 19, you get it in percentage where even exceed the proceeds where they put for make that Wilkinson Road. So there is a huge kickback where go back where we don't know how it go, but it's in the pockets of government.
Right.
So these are the things where they talk to them don't do. Let's come back to the free healthcare where they talk about. Talking about free healthcare, we don't see an increase in infant mortality. We don't see an increase also in maternal mortality in this country, and than even before the 10 years before APC they come in governance. When the Ebola break out, we see how rotten we health sector in this country, that the whole country now 1 or 2 ambulances will get. And also as a result of the poor or the mismanagement of the Ebola, it claimed many lives in this country, and up to this time, we still not see much improvement in the health sectors. Education is completely out of the way in this country under the APC. Now under APC, we don't see 3 NPS picking them. They take an examination on 1 question paper, where even they are against the examination ethics. And at the end of the day, you send picking them for going to secondary school, we not go through proper codes of ethics of the examination rules. You also get
right. So you don't hear the National Publicity Secretary himself in your version, right? Okay, so now we said we get for talk to one power brothers, then when Mr. Abduke Injai, when a civil engineer, when a Cambia a born, of course, he attend a get in a civil engineering degree from Frobe College, then a come United States, a continue at some of the best universities in the United States, and they do engineering. Let me listen to Abduke Injai himself, waiting a talk about the road constructions where the APC government they claim say they do.
The geotechnical report before the construction of the road, but based on my own knowledge of waiting I see now the ground, I not see any subgrade compaction where they do. You see the dirty they close at the road, then come put them binder on top there. So suddenly you see puddle of water sit down. Wait till you for say that's it go get for rot. So if you take can cover town on top there, trust me, now then you first pothole they begin. And any road you don't get 1 pothole. Give them the next rainy season, especially that tropical area, you go see thousands of potholes.
Right.
And to make the situation worse, we get heavy rains and then we get dries. Now, if them pothole areas and they then dry, during the dry season, then they make cracks, then they expand. When they expand, you get cracks. So from when the following rainy season comes, more water they go inside there, and then they above the subgrade. So that, therefore, the road for making it go last, you have to take care of all that. But this is the other thing. Then where they are so, the grading is very poor. They need a enough slope because that put on that way people will understand. You know, that way they show some a bridge that one day.
Right.
Then they friend you get forgetting overflow. But like this having a road so you get forget enough sloping so that it's not going for settle the road. So as it can if your drain go down.
So like Mr. Ija, like when you talk about sloping, waiting at sloping, then at the side then get for way water for down at the middle, if we're able to get way for go down.
For able for road go down, yes.
Okay. Right, okay.
For able for road go down, it come out of the tar, it go inside, and make you get forget drainages, you get forget gutter.
Right. So like the one we look at just now, it flat no more. You know?
It flat no more. So the tendency for make water go settle on top of it is very, very great. Wow. You know, so like we said, if you get a white line this road, for always a couple of degrees above the regular road. Some roads they can go as far as 3 to 5 degrees above that, the sloping, the angle where they slope. It depending on the weather condition of the area and how big the road is. You know, so that you go able to get good drainage away from the asphalt itself, from the running surface.
And so being that now so the Chinese they don't make them roads they are it just flat, just like how you don't explain. They're not slope them so that when rain come it go able for any way for go on the side instead of settling on the surface of the tar. Right. You feel say looking at it from that angle, how many years you feel say this road go there in this new condition before it begin to get potholes then?
If we get heavy rain for 2 years consecutive rain season them, we get heavy rain. Right. The third year, those roads will not be usable again.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Right. With
heavy rains and that you get a short period of heavy sand where they hit the road. You see expansion, it cracks, water will come inside when the rains then come. The following year, again 2 years, it begin mess up. As a matter of fact, there are certain city roads them where they be on the surface. Now only one rain they come. We all see them. We saw pictures of it on Facebook and other areas where they sweep all the tar away. All that it was due to poor compaction, starting from the subgrade itself to the aggregate and everything. And Mr. Sheriff, I'll tell you something. Most of us are telling very difficult to do. The university self keep able to do that one day if they get the geotechnical report of the design of those roads. Some of them.
Okay, so now that you don't listen to then people they are so. It go find for the person where now been the financial secretary, now the Minister of Finance. Then later he became the bank governor of the Bank of Sierra Leone, where now the presidential candidate for the APC, Dr. Samora Kamara, waiting himself talk about this road construction. Let's listen to that as well.
At one stage, I thought we don't have more than $30 million just for economic development projects. To build one road alone, 1 kilometer of road costs you nearly $1 million. To have 1 kilowatt of electricity. At one stage, I thought we don't have more than $30 million just for economic development projects. To build one road alone, 1 kilometer of road costs you nearly $1 million. To have 1 kilowatt of electricity. At one stage, I thought we don't have more than $30 million just for economic development projects. To build one road alone, 1 kilometer of road costs you nearly $1 million. To have 1 kilowatt of electricity.
Right. And so me from them when I don't see for say this road construction where the APC do, it come at an opportunity cost, right? It come with a big cost. Now let me even look at the money where they use for for do this road construction. Like I don't hear it from Dr. Samora Kamara, for every 1 kilometer of road where they construct in Sierra Leone, on the average, then they spend nothing less than $1 million, right? So now compare how many kilometers of road they make in Sierra Leone, and so who say how much money would they spend on that road construction, and who say the money they come out, right? So when you look at that, you go find out say now boku millions and millions and millions of dollars where they don't spend for constructing roads here. And so for who say we're able to get that money, Sierra Leone not be ever getting kind of money then they, even though in natural resources we have those monies, but because we don't know how to manage we own resources, we get for go borrow that money then they. So now trust, we go trust that money they with interest. And when you trust money like that one day with interest, boku money like that one day, we get for pay that debt stay will not be done. We picking and they can't pay, they not be done. We grab picking and they pay, they not be done. And the engineers they don't talk, say this road here what they don't make because of the technology, because of the engineering construction where they use for constructing roads they are so, and considering the amount of rain where the can of Sierra Leone, this road not go last more than 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years it go begin get potholes in. So meaning that the roads then get for beginning and bog, whilst we get all these piles of debt on we will not done for pay it. And we don't know whether we been get signed any warranty for say if that road say I get pothole, the Chinese people that they can't fix all with pothole, I not feel say we been signed that as part of the contract. Because we not get money, the person where they give you money, now they tell we, now they give you the terms of the loan. Right? So now that's happened. And then we hear it back about the toll road where they make. Toll road that they make in every country, not a problem that one day. Because toll road day for people that way they go fast. Where they want for the busy, you know, they in a hurry, they in a haste, they want for go fast. Okay, you go na toll road, you go pay small money, you pass go. But how about that Sierra Leonean we not get that money they for paying a toll road? They make the toll roads then they don't make any alternative road on the side. You will not get money for paying in the toll road. You supposed to pass that alternative road. But they don't do that one day. They just make the toll road. So you will can if you don't get money, they don't talk say you na Sierra Leone you born, but certain areas of the country they were you not able for pass day because of your economy or your financial status, you're not able for pass day. So that side they back then blunder big time. Right? So this na the road construction way the APC then do. But then finally the APC themselves, you know, then do one thing where I go give them praises for. You know, in 2013 they began for the president in collaboration with the Sierra Leone army, they began for send a battalion of Sierra Leonean soldiers them na Somalia for me to be part of the African peacekeeping mission na Somalia where they began fight. And so of course the whole world knows Sierra Leone just done for fight war, and of course so now we set this example at the world for peace. So if we send we also German for men to be part of this peace process, it got even able for enhance the morale of the process, because here we are they consolidate we own peace and now we are part of the peace process now another country, so we set a good example. So that was a good thing that the APC did under their watch, right? All right, and then let us look at 2014 na in we hear say Ebola virus disease don't burst na Guinea Conakry or na Guinea, right? Now we don't, when this disease here burst na Guinea, it burst na Guinea in February, and when it burst na Guinea in February 2014, the international media, the national media, they all they talk about how deadly this disease here dey, and waiting at all the scientific terms and way associated with this disease, how it kill people in their massive numbers. And so the disease day na Guinea from February, March, April now enter Liberia. When the disease don't enter na Liberia, still with government, me not see anything where government do pass them small hand bills then where they make them paste and then public places there for let people then read. But how many Sierra Leoneans they educated where they go able for go read that thing they for able for understand how important it is for them to prevent the disease itself, you know? And when they talk about the military or the fundamental responsibility of every government now for save the lives and properties of the civilians. So the soldier man they within the country, they're not just in a country for fetch war. When stuff like this happen in a country, then they step in for able for put control measures they in place so that they go able for contain them. In fact, that make all we see the United States and send a soldier man in a Liberia, they will see the British and send soldier man in a Sierra Leone, right? So we'll be supposed, what we don't hear you say this disease here don't boss na Guinea and Liberia, we'll be supposed to send soldier man in a other border they for control how people in the kind inside the country and how then they go out. Because we know say people that they come out na Sierra Leone, they always go to Guinea, they go buy markets and they can't sell. So out of every 10 people that will go, about 8 of them they contract that disease, then brand come back inside. The same thing will happen at the eastern border with Liberia. So the government are able to control the disease at the border till the disease enter inside the country through Kailan district, Ekana Kenema, and of course it kill up to 4,000 Sierra Leoneans. Then why is this whole thing they go on? People they don't sorry for we, they say, you know what, see, the people that begin to send money in the country, for let we able for take care of the disease. Then the Auditor General report don't come on out and say $14 million of this money are done lost under the APC watch in the middle of the Ebola crisis. You know, so plenty of people that now they talk say if this 14 million not be lost, sometimes 4,000 Sierra Leoneans they not for don't die by this disease. Then why is all this Auditor General report don't come on now? All man they pay attention to this kind thing where don't happen at the country. Now the APC they meet quick one. They say, you know what, let we distract Sierra Leoneans. Let we turn the attention away from this money in scandal. Let we turn it away to politics. Now they go meet quick one. You know, now they say they don't expel Alhaji Samuel Samsumana when I be the elected vice president of the country. Even though the man one pine bodyguard don't die and the man don't quarantine himself for me able for no if himself it affects for in life and in family rights now. Now they pull up. So when they pull her now the president himself will say, well, this one so I don't get the opportunity now for Saka. You know, that's 2 words where they inside the constitution of Sierra Leone. The president say they use now supreme authority. So now it take upon himself unilaterally without consulting parliament, without going through the due process. It just go a sack Alhaji Samuel Samsumana in one, a call Victor Fo, now office is swear in, bam, they say, well, this is not the vice president. Now the president if you say, oh, then they're not a violation. Well, Mr. President, if not to be violation, wait till make a constitution talk say where you divide for be president of a country, you for sure a running mate. And wait till make una two they vote una two they run on the same ticket, people that they vote for una together. Right? But anyway, now that's the president will do. Then the case go to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of Sierra Leone, my goodness sake, this court is supposed to be so honest. It's supposed to be so neutral. It's supposed to be so unbiased. They're not supposed for for back nobody by anything. But then because of how we system the president now they appoint judges then at the Supreme Court. Anytime when he had come, it is sacked and come out in that Supreme Court today. So you now when a judge you then at that Supreme Court today, sensitive case like this don't appear before you. When a case where they between the president and vice, man, and you don't say you president and you boss. And no matter how the president wrong for that case, they not go court and fine. You always get for rule in favor of the president. So we all understand wait to make the Supreme Court we talk say, oh, Alhaji Samuel Samsumana, you wrong for this case here, the president and right because of the kind of court system we will get, right? So now that will happen, but at any rate, all of these things will happen. Why is the Ebola crisis they go on in the country? But finally, in March of 2015, the government together with the World Health Organization they declare say Ebola don't done at Sierra Leone, right? Ebola don't done. So when that one they don't done now in 2016, what it can happen back? Now the government introduced what they call austerity measures. Austerity measures, me family, the way they introduce in any country now a way where government want for control spending. If they don't find out say the country not get better money anymore and they want for bring in some discipline as to how then they spend money in the country, then they cut down on spending and control the small money on priority areas then. But then let us see how the APC government will get for institute the austerity measures and how they control them. Now during the time where the austerity measures they don't institute at the country, now the same time what they see where the president they go any side, they get more than 25 vehicles inside a motorcade. In fact, some man they talk say we get 45 vehicles, and because when they pass then they count the motorcar, up to 45. Each one per them motorcar and then big motorcar way then they consume a lot of gas, a lot of petrol, right? And so now that's the president. Then apart from that, that same austerity measures time, now the time when the president say they go for medical checkup in Germany, Mr. President, Ebola don't just done at the country. Plenty money don't come inside the country. About $14 million of this money don't lost. if that money not been lost before you dey declare say Ebola don done at the country, when the hospital wey for don get, when a big time hospital wey get all the equipment, the supplies and the materials, so it be say if Namina be you, I for feel proud for say when I want for do medical checkup, I know they travel go outside of my country. Now my country, now they do me medical checkup, now they do me diagnosis, now they give me exam reports and everything. You become so proud. But the president will all know that Germany been go. So how about the other Sierra Leoneans now we know about this? How they going to feel? For say if they get this kind of disease what the president will get, but they not get the means for travel to Germany. So what did they happen to them? Now died and they die. You know, so you as president, you're supposed to set a good example. You're supposed to be a role model. But when you don't begin to do things in that way, then it means you are looking down on the people that we're not able to afford. So when they talk say in Sierra Leone, you they see a clear line between the one that we get and the one that we not get. This is a classical example of that, right? So now that's the president begin for do. But then now the people then at the street, then they go to bed hungry, they not get food for it, petrol price don't go up, then passengers they begin fed to them, drivers them, they don't increase the price of poda, you know, taxi, where taxi put you down now, then you don't pay them the money, they're supposed to give you change, they say I not get change, then they wrong go. So hala begin for down at the country, right? So this is what happened under the austerity measures where the APC began for introduce, right? And then just now with the way the president they talk say, you know, they don't bring pipe-borne water to people then of course, family when I don't forget say people that be the struggle for water business in Sierra Leone. Not only in Freetown but other parts of the country where it be say we get water now every area of Sierra Leone. Any sign of Sierra Leone where you dig the meets water, but still people that be the suffer for water. You know, early in the morning around 4 a.m. now with small picking in the grab, then total rubber and then aid, then they walk then 5-6 miles for go get water, and then they cross then dangerous streets then a future we say motor cannot they check safe for anybody, then they cross down for go get water. You know, then they waka. So when picking they grab them at time, then they for go get water. The waka where they waka, the water where they chokes now they aid. That waka where they waka for that long. Then dangerous streets where they can't cross. All that one they contribute to the picking in poor growth. And they make the picking or they grow fine. So then picking they also they call them picking now. Now then are the leaders of Sierra Leone tomorrow. So if we're not able for help the picking and contribute positively to their growth, both you know physically, academically and otherwise, then what are we doing to the future of Sierra Leone? We are not positively contributing to the future of Sierra Leone. Because can you imagine that picking away they touch that water, they know they grow fine. Then even when they go to school, you know they concentrate fine. Because sometimes they remember, oh tomorrow morning I get for grab bag for go find water, you know, that's it. So we know they contribute fine. So and you know most of the water they back where they go get, the water they not been clean. It be so unsanitary to the health of the pikin and self back and then families them back. So plenty people then back begin forget waterborne disease out of that. Now Sierra Leone, right? Then what it can happen now? 2017, we found they don't say then they go perform Hajj in Mecca. The Hajj gates don't happen. I mean, can you imagine? Me not understand what to make all the imam the whole get in Sierra Leone. Most of them are highly educated. They learn and then Arabic universities. Then some of them even went to Arabic college and other universities. Then they understand what's in a Hajj. They know the importance of Hajj and all of that. And all the steps that people have to follow. What to make them not demand the affairs of the Hajj? What to make not so that they control the money business per Hajj? I mean, plenty other countries than they where the people that they go Hajj, including United States. Then get embassies then at the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia or the environs. Then get consuls then at them places then they like Jeddah, Medina, Mecca. Then get consuls then at them places then they. Waiting you they do, you they charge you people then small money they pay to you as government. So that money they when they reach here now in you they use for charter bus for take them from place to place to place, right? As it's but you're not supposed to be in charge of the entire Hajj money. When they don't they in charge of the Hajj money now, what's it can happen? They begin for thief panel. Then at the end of the day, some of the family they not even go perform the Hajj. It turn to embarrassment. Then discourage with people that wait for go Hajj, and they don't forget say performing pilgrimage to Mecca is one of the most important pillars of Islam. For say if you don't, you supposed to go there with halal money, and for getting kind halal money in Sierra Leone, a lot of suffering with family that they go through. Suppose you don't spend this money all these years, at the end of the day, supposed to go there, you don't make it not go. Even if that person they not swear you, in swear go for them pay you. And if you're not person where they're in position of leadership, there's somebody like that one they don't swear you, or in swear them for them pay you, it they affect your decision making abilities, and where your decision making abilities are affected as a leader in the country, it they trickle down to the masses. So this is how it they hold the country down, right? So that Hajj gets back now. So it happened. Then how about the August 14, 2017 mudslide will happen? Of course, people then they will go talk, say, oh, na natural disaster. Nobody not get control over natural disaster. Give me a break. Give me a break. For that one day, some of we don't go to San Francisco, when one of the cities in the United States, the same landscape where they in San Francisco, now the same landscape than Freetown. They get host inside them mountains in San Francisco. You didn't see where they up the mountain, you didn't see the water. It's so nice. One day they not go through mudslide because they know how they plant and stuff. They know how they do their stuff. When you go to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, now the same landscape. One day no mudslide. So because of poor management of our environment, in fact, government get access to information where come out from geologists and from Britain way back in the 40s, where mudslide of this magnitude we get for happen and go up na that hill. They study the landscape up in the hill, and they came out with two recommendations. One, when I keep trees growing up in that mountains at all times, when I not cut trees and they. And two, let people they not build under the valley and up the mountain because it get the potential for getting mudslide. But the people they not listen, the government not listen. Government maybe they give permit to people that they go build and inside and they. So at the end of the day, the red dotty where they up that hill, the old water pass, the black dotty where they. And then two types of dotty. They, according to Mr. Abduke Njai, when engineer. You know, so that dotty they don't hold water. Say, and we say 7 hours Sheriff Broadcast Network. We get for predict for say something like that one they get for happen inside with weather forecast. We even advise people the way they live na inside and they for make them commodity, but they're not being commodity, right? So at middle night, people then lay down and they sleep. Now dotty they all camp on them, you know, and roll over them. 800 people then die. This happened in 2017. We all know how sorrowful it was. Then of course we know say plenty money pour back into the country, you know, as you know, Kansanke donations from countries, from former presidents, from different sides. Now we don't know what's happened with the money. Now we don't hear you say government be they build, you know, apartments for them people and they will be there, but then this being turned back, we don't hear you say they don't give them small money, they say men and come outside they be there. So we don't know who said the people they don't go pass all the see them at TV where they cry, right? So that then see it happen. So me fam with them, let we look at waiting they go on at Sierra Leone today as I speak to now. Waiting they happen at the country. The US dollars don't go 750,000 plus, even in fact some man they talk say don't go close to 800,000 for every $100. Now the temperature the way SLPP they hand over the $100 have been 300,000 or 300,000 leons. Right now na 750,000 going to 800,000 leons. One bag of rice at the time where SLPP be the hand over that be 60,000 leons. Today na 250,000 leons or plus, right? Now youth unemployment, the youths in the country, out of the 7 million people, then we get more youths in the country, about 60% of the populace, right? About that number, they 90% of that populace they not get job, they are unemployed. So what's happen? Crime rates don't rise. We don't hear about plenty armed robberies in Freetown. We don't hear about plenty stories and we say they say people that they go now then bury ground and then they exhume body then out of the graves them. We don't know if now about body parts. We don't hear about cool but ritual murders. We say that they kill people then they cut them, parts them. We don't see that. All that here they happen among the youths in the country because they not get job. They are living hopelessly and in despair. They not get source of income. So they get for resort to stuff where they make their life go on, even if not bad thing. Only in Sierra Leone, what we don't see, we say a West African examination council they take place wherein 2 students they share one question paper for take the exam. Now, when stuff like that one day they happen, they undermine the integrity of the examination itself. I mean, I don't one day here, but they will say 2 picking and they share 1 question paper for men and take an important international exam like that, right? But that they happen in Sierra Leone. Then how about even the SS, the senior secondary, they add another 1 year to them. I mean, my daughter, we don't can't join with America now. You know, again for if they did another SS3 when a day before stop, it take the wax exam, then that for them make it can't join with quick. But because of I want for me to take that wax exam day before it can't join with, so what I do, I make it wait for another extra 1 year when a SS4 before it can this country for can't join we, right? But thank God it didn't so now. But then they add another 1 year to the picking them education alive, you know, by prolonging their life that way. We don't know what's in be the reason for that. Then of course we don't hear they say we don't hear the president they talk say they don't bring in electricity from Wusa the meter at 10 megawatts now a day to Wusa a day, but you don't name the number as Wusa a day now. But when we turn around at 1 a.m. in Eastern Freetown, when they see say the place is dark, there is no electricity, and in fact they say they take 3 to 4 days before some places and they get light, right? So there is no electricity in the country. I mean, this is the capital city of a whole country. There is no electricity there. Of course, the cow don't talk. There is youth hopelessness and despair. The youths they not get job, they not get source of income, they not get outside and able for get money. Right? Of course, corruption don't entrench into every fabric of the country. Whosoever person they work again for involved in some form of corruption for able for live the kind way they live, because they don't meet them predecessors. Then at that they do so. Then self don't can. Then get for the one. Then the successors the way they can be and then say get for can one. Right? This is the Sierra Leonean society. Of course, how about the judicial system? The entire judicial system has been politicized. Of course, this is not a today business. This started from 1978, where the APC don't pass the one-party state. That now the number one thing what they do. The judicial system they interfere into how they work. Now then they tell them how what they for do, and up to today, then they don't enhance back. And there is also corruption in the judicial system. So now I make plenty things not to go find out we earn, because the one that way they are the top in authorities, now then they control how then they pass judgment on cases. Now next then they talk case. So by the time they go to court, everything has been planned. They just go past then this and now. Of course, the same thing now in the civil service. They said they don't politicize it. It's supposed to be independent, but you know independent is politicized, right? The law enforcement, the police then they are so under-equipped and they are also being politicized. I mean, for example, look at the kind of accidents the way they happen and then rules there where they don't make in Sierra Leone. Plenty of Sierra Leoneans they don't lose their life because there is no law enforcement where they enforce moving violations, speeding violations. No law enforcement. They not get equipment and what they use for able for monitor how people in the driving and then rules there. They not get things then proper system they set in place for know how person they even get driver's license. You know, people that the way they get driver's license, they don't even know what's in the traffic rules. So then just they drive 50 fat at the place, you know, they don't know which speed they for go out. So there is no control mechanism. So the police they're under equipped and they are also politicized. They're not able for do their work independent of politics. Now the back now they happen. And of course, how about even the opposition political parties? The opposition political parties in a parliament, they're not able for stand up to the incumbent government with all the violations what they don't do, with all the bad things that what they don't do. The opposition political parties are supposed to be the voice of the voiceless. They are supposed to be on the side of the people. Now therefore stand up to government. They are part of the current government, the mere fact that they are in opposition. But opposition political parties then always within a parliament will not get any record where they show for say they stand strongly against waiting the government but they do. Past them political parties that will be done they form newly, you know, and then we don't even see whether they voice certain things that against waiting government they do. How about even with natural resources? We not be managed with natural resources. No Sierra Leonean not supposed for common as Sierra Leone go to other country for like able for live good life. We're not supposed for live with country. If only we know how for manage with resources, then we supposed for just go to other country on vacation. We go spend 1 or 2 weeks there. We come back in our country. We're not supposed for live with country if we know, because God don't give we everything what we need for able for sustain we serve in our country, but because of poor management of resources, we are living in squalor, we are living in poverty, we're not able to manage that, right? And so the country still underdeveloped no matter how we look at it. So me family, me you were there underway they listen to we, especially you will be registered for vote for this election. When you age don't reach 18 years and above, you want to ask yourself a question. I mean, now so you be want to let you live your life in your country. The country will say you born. Now so you want to let you live your life. I don't think so. If your answer is no, then drop all the sentiments the way you get. Oh, I vote for this person because now me and you na the same language we talk, or me and you na the same side will come on, or me and you na the same. Don't vote for people because of that. Now for vote for people the way you know say, you know waiting, this person don't do ABC, I don't see him, and because of that, I love this country. So let it be the person we me get for vote for. You know, so this now the APC then record from 2007 to 2017, and me family the one for me could understand say we will not do this because we hate APC or we like other political party there. If now any other political party be in power, now the same thing we get for do, and when another political party can in power, now the same thing we get for continue for the do. For let we able for the check on waiting and they do, because this now a moral responsibility on we part as Sierra Leoneans there, because this now we own small contribution all they do to the country, right? So you way to go vote on the day of election. Now then see how you get for the think of. If you are more of the same, then of course you want for votes for Uda Dede. But if you want changes, then of course you want for change things. All right. So once more, Mina Ibrahim Sheriff, and this is Sheriff's Broadcast Network Straight Talk program, where they come to una live from studio number 8, based in Houston, Texas. We'll tell you plenty. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
From the Aberdeen Lonely Beach Road to Regent Road, to Juba Hills, all the way round the peninsula to Toke. From Spotted Wilberforce to Hill Station, all the way to the Jewel Crossroads. From Wilberforce to Congo Cross, through King Street and Signal Hill Road, and from Hill Station to New England.
Of a 100% government-funded pipe-borne water project, catering for most of Luawa Chiefdom's 81,000 inhabitants.
So they don't have this, they don't make now ground granny, because how they suffer for water, not the last time he started the balance. Every single one in this balance. Say that people will get this balance. This balance will be. Every single one in this balance. And we know.
Right, and so me family na that's now the records of the All People's Congress. Of course, one area we'll miss for appreciate the APC for now the way where they make the Lungi International Airport. Of course, I raise me hats up to the APC for that. They did a very good job, you know. And then in a way, then just take power. You know, where the Pabin talk say a one for Rus Sierra Leone as a business. So he was business minded. He was very sincere about waiting a one for do for Sierra Leone. So they were able to reconstruct the entire international airport no longer. So they did a very good job with that. Right? Now that's not the only thing we'll be one for add to that record. But that is the record. And of course, me fun with them. Now so we get for can end the broadcast now because we get important meeting they can go to. But I go on for open the line small. The line is open right now in case you want for calling. I don't see plenty of people in they pan right. John Cano they pan right. So John Cano, I go wish if you go call right now for we'll talk about some of the issues and any other person. We just want for make them you know, open so that we'll go talk about the issues and not forget say like how we don't talk say Sierra Leone now we country now they were all born. We will not get no business for the other mine country only if we know how for manage our resource system. But because we don't know how they manage resources, that's why we're all over the world, you know. So it is about time that we take them up as a moral responsibility for, you know, positively contribute to the making of or the remaking of Sierra Leone. Now that's what they do now, yeah? And of course, now that make way we also appreciate late Dr. Martin Mada Salia. It talks something way up to today, it resonates with me bad. Dr. Martin Mada Salia talks say it say any corner where you day. Wait till they do that corner day for able for enhance that corner day. Wait till they do they for enhance them, right? All right, well, they get a phone call they come in, so let's see if we can actually you know, talk to that person. Hello? Okay, that person don't hang up. So, you know, it say any corner where you find yourself, you know, wait till they do that corner day for brighten that corner. You know, if you're not a broadcaster, a journalist, what till they do that corner day for brighten that corner. If you're not a teacher, you're not a nurse, you're not a carpenter, you're not an engineer, you're not an accountant, you're not a banker, what are you doing in your own area to brighten that area, right? So this now we on small corner and we do things that are for brighten this corner now. So exactly that's what we are doing here. So me fun with them, the lines are still open in case you want for, you know, calling. We are going to leave the lines open, right? And so once more, stick around with us as we continue to bring the programs to you. Of course, we'll get Richard James, the call. Hold on. Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Yes, sir. Who is calling?
Richard.
You want to make a comment?
Yeah, make comment at least we are glad for that initiative. We don't start at least some of the diaspora we get more information. So this initiative yeah, then also we don't know how frequent the program the day on once in a week on every day. At least everybody know the information, at least we disseminate the information. Okay. And the other quarters, at least we bring ourselves together as Sierra Leoneans.
Right.
Then also your analysis we do with regards the government, at least they are totally factual, definitely.
Thank you very much.
As Sierra Leoneans, at least we need to put yourself no support party somebody because of tribe or this now work on the same region or now this now call I don't meet party. At least more support somebody who believe for say they will move the country go forward. When I'm also good. Right. Okay, at least, but this time at least as youth them at least we need change because things are not going right. If you woman say if you don't get how many years they born for you, they become frustrated. You say, "No, yeah, look at all that because of the and give me picking." So definitely, a situation like that, things not the work. We need change. Yeah.
Right.
So that's all I get for now. Thanks very much, brother.
Thank you very much. What's your name again?
Yeah. Richard James.
Richard James, and you are calling from?
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay. Thank you very much, Richard. We appreciate you. And of course, we will make una know when we get for the cam on the air. Of course, we'll go close to election. So we'll get for the cam now on the air a little faster. You know, we're not going to cam once a week. Normally, we normal broadcast now every weekend. But it looks like, say, people that want to do more. So we will come up with a schedule. Thank you so much, Richard. All right. So that's Mr. Richard James from Maryland, of course, a corner. So we expect people then for calling for let's talk about what we don't do just now. And so whilst we are waiting for people to call in, we therefore they do this. Stick around.
But I want for assurance to say, as leader of the Sierra Leone People's Party, I don't lead at one point in the history of this country. At a watershed moment, I make decisions we make Salon Don they will say it today. My name is Samura Kamara. I'm the flag bearer for the APC party. Now they take over from President Nkrumah as the next president of Sierra Leone. And I ask for your support. Because we believe in President Nkrumah, which he don't do for we. And therefore, when he choose me for, let me can continue the good work we don't do. And for do more.
Just 4 weeks ago, we confirmed that we have 2 billion barrels of petroleum. Yes, sir. The poorest country in the world now discovers 2 billion barrels.
Breaking news. The Coalition for Change, C4C, don't get the final party certificate. We go bring you the detailed news stories. We go bring you the interviews for all the people that were involved inside C4C. But right now, with the broadcast from the entertainment division.
All the supporters will let them conduct themselves for a peaceful election. You know, means say you know go campaign to pursue whether in other party.
People must understand that the situation then and now are different. As a political party, we weighed the pros and cons, and we are convinced that at that time, since we did not qualify for the runoff, we should lend support to APC, believing that the flag bearer of APC, who is now the President of the Republic, would present a new type of politics in this country, which will take the country ahead of where she was at the time.
Yes, and so me family them now so we get for end the program today. I want for take this opportunity once more for tell una all plenty thank you for una time, for una the support we, for una comments, whether not bad or good comments, it help we for improve on the services that we provide now. And of course, you know, we get for come up with a schedule. Elections are coming close. Of course, we reporters then at the ground, they are getting ready. We self get for then at the ground for cover the elections. And so, you know, diaspora and Sierra Leoneans, una all for no say, una very important to. Okay, we'll get a call from somebody. Let me see. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, who is calling?
This is Pastor Connor, Woodbridge, Virginia.
Oh yeah, Pastor Connor, you want to make a comment?
Hello?
Yes, sir. You want to make comments?
Yes, I want to make comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to make comment. Me not possible to go salon fast, and not take work on a salon. You know, after all these years, after 56 to 57 years back, I talk to the salon people. If salon people put SLPP and APC back in power, anything we then get, then deserve them. I think say they don't do now for letting no say them two parties and they perform. They just can't do the job. You know, they don't do for let you know. Say after 57 years, we won't try then two people here. It's not the better. Now it's man called insanity. Where they do the same thing over and over again, and they expect a different results. Me just want less salon people and get this. Let them not put them two parties in power and let them do something better for their life.
So, Pastor Connor, yeah, if I can ask you a question, you go able for tell me one or two things where the SLPP as a political party don't do we put Salon BN or APC at the same time. There are two, you know, like one thing, just one or two things.
Now we look at the metrics. Now look at the statistics. Now look at the economy.
During the SLPP era, you know.
Where you look, where you go, you look global economics. The five man, the poorest country in a salon, and I then took part here, don't rule. Them policies them. No, they work. Because if them they get better policies them, we'll get war and all the rest of it. But if them they get better policies them, I believe that country for the turnaround now, if not for the only chef who say other people are rich, for don't see signs. But you know they see signs of anything.
Yeah, because me I collect for let go be practical. Like, you know, what would they let not go to give blanket statement, like be specific, say this now this APC doing all right, now this SLPP doing all right, you know, because like what you say the country not to go before, that is so broad, you know.
Yeah, they don't go before.
Right.
Look, John Magufuli at Tanzania. When he come, what he do? Is he say the main thing where they cause problem, the corruption.
Yes, hold on. Somebody they just joined the line. Just hold on. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Hold on. Let this person here done it out. Yeah, let Pastor Connect done. Yeah, hello.
Yes, he attack corruption from the get go. They like today, the country they get more revenues. They like today, mining contract when they don't sign by corruption, they don't scrap them. Mining company don't give the government back $300 million as a result of a corrupt deal.
Right.
I want to let them took Patiano attack.
Let them not in our government again, right? Okay. Well, Pastor Connor, one for tell you plenty. Thank you. We'll get one other caller again from England. Yes. Who's calling from London? Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. Would I hear you? Yes. Who is calling?
You hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yes, I call from London. Nina Miss Ali.
Yes.
Nina one for the people away. To be frank with you, I'm not very interested from politics, but I just find myself recently just get very interested and motivated about you people when they come on the news and talk about this Sierra Leone business. It makes me feel really, really happy, and I'm really, really proud.
Thank you.
Being a health professional, one of the things that will really be discouraging about Sierra Leone, working sit down with me professionals in a workplace. Anytime I tell them I come to Sierra Leone, everything they make a comment, I can feel so bad.
I know, right? Yes.
But of late, I just think say you guys are doing so well and feel proud about my country.
Mhm.
Say people that they on board, they are not politically motivated. They're just the kind of speak the truth.
Right.
It makes me really, really feel happy.
Me too.
And I just come to realize say no matter how prosperous you become in another person's country, even if you get 10 house, 15 house, there's no place like home.
Right.
You understand?
Mhm.
So I really feel good. Hello?
Yes, hello, will they get you?
You dey get me?
Yeah, they get
I
you.
really feel good when we talk about this because no matter what thing we do in England, we are professional. We get $4,000 or $5,000 a month. We don't feel at home.
Right.
We really feel happy with everything they go on. So you people are really criticizing. We dey pray for God. But I wanna continue to do that. No matter whose party we come, we just continue on a good work. And just like Europe, where opposition we get for be tolerant. So I'm really, really pleased, and I pray for una let God make una continue on this on a good work, and then try for be like una not support anybody, una just try for make sure everybody do the right thing.
All right.
So it's just like a praise, and thank you guys. May God bless una for all what una they do.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate the comments.
Because, to be frank with you, as I keep telling you, there is no place like home.
Right. There is no place like home.
May God bless una, yeah?
Thank you very much. We appreciate that comment.
Okay, then.
Okay, bye-bye. Yes, you know, of course, the lines are still open in case you want for calling and profile your views. No problem. So why should we wait for a few more minutes? Let me see this, right? All right, hold on.
What's the matter? You been tell me, say, you go stay by me all the time with the trouble coming.
Yes, of course, we got Juliana George, right? Is that Juliana George?
Yeah, correct.
All right, yes, calling from
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Yes, you want for make a comment, Juliana?
Yeah, I want to talk concerning that my way call from Virginia. Between APC and SLPP.
Right.
All right. Then two parties, we don't serve the country for long years. But during SLPP time, things not be so difficult like where APC they on board right now. You can't imagine where SLPP they day on. Things they not be so dear like rest right now. Rest don't go up to let me say 300. Where the layman not go able afford one cup rest for it for the day.
Right.
So you see, at least would they think we part they on let you sorry for the poor one then when they're not able to afford food for the day. So if we don't talk the difference between SLPP and APC.
Right.
So you see,
right.
Every party they can't get on, but at least APC they not really try. They not really try make everything difficult for the poor people then.
Right.
So you see?
Right. Well, thank you very much, Juliana, for your comments. Of course, now that will be the try for tell people. And thank you so much. We appreciate you, yeah?
Yeah, welcome.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get another caller. Yes. Yeah, who's calling?
Good evening. My name is Vixen Kane. I call all the way in Greensboro, North Carolina.
So for make a comment?
Yeah, brother, I'm so much happy. I'm on Facebook where I just see this thing. It sounds like my heaven the way I see this.
Thank you. Right.
I tell you because the brother we come to some of you don't care. I mean 4 years so I just done. And he always look to me like saying inside dark a day. I know they are not about my country in the sense past people then go over voice made internet. But like this now so they see clear one. The bloody tail not know what to for tell now.
Right.
We said with time we don't strong at this country, at least we don't be join now for do 1, 2, 3 things we push the country.
Yes, no problem. Anytime and yes, go ahead.
One thing where it pissed me off, brother, is about this man with they call KKY. Because politics, no matter how you say, well, I believe Africa, I believe Eastern Polytechnic College, me I be a newspaper writer at college. Yeah, I not go tell nobody say I not like politics. I like them because politics, the one way you talk say I not get Nazi, now that not get for doing Nazi, you stupid. Because when they look at and say politics now they push we, now they make we live a better life.
Right.
No matter how you look at it. Now in the area of this KKY, people then they comment on here and there, even though like we will not even start there and pass all the same photo. Me, one thing where I want to tell you, brother, is Sierra Leoneans are not patriotic in the sense you not go tell me one thing about me, I may tell even the woman who is with me, if I be patriotic in the sense let me for real. You not go to SLPP today, you turn around, you say you don't come out, they don't go other parts. Meaning you are not patriotic, to be honest.
Right.
So now the same man they put this country. Now they talk outright. I'm very disgusted about this attitude they get. Like the other man when they call Magai. Now then same one they don't pour that country to this level. So now the same thing this man don't can do, you did some side not too long they don't turn around. When for the whole one thing, then when all hold on with one hand, when I say it go before. Okay, you know, yeah, you don't form your own party, but I mean, when you look at it critically, it lets down this country because they don't turn a habit. When they pay them turn around, then go this side.
Okay.
Oh, you know they help that country.
All right. Thank you very much, my brother. We appreciate your comment. Thank you so much. Yes, Richard, are you calling? Hello, is that Richard?
Yeah. This is Richard, but somebody in a line now.
No, you don't. The post you don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, now somebody they make a comment about KKY. It's so disheartening. Sierra Leoneans who know they appreciate. Yeah, I'm calling for Yeah, this is Richard speaking.
Yeah, go ahead, Richard.
Somebody where they make a issue about KKY. It's so disheartening. Sierra Leoneans who know they appreciate somebody. Sierra Leoneans when they do well. Definitely. Yeah, if somebody don't do some side, but things don't go well with her. If I make a fashion day, no.
Yeah, people can get democratic rights. Yeah, people
democratic rights to form your own party.
Yeah, so
that among the presidential candidates, them that man more getting know-how for lead the country at this particular point in time. We're not going for bigger at the SLPP because of color. Maybe they support the SLPP, but now at the KKY. But I believe for now, KKY is the right person for rule the country. Definitely, the man get all in know, and the man not the try will bring the country together, not through by tribal or regional. So they try to break the divide. Charles Magai take your initiative. That was well and good for him. But KKY was different. KKY never stand for symbol. It go before the convention, you know, from your party long since. So why didn't they comment about the man? At least for our sister, more try for more stop for down cry the man, more give the man that one vote better vote for her. Like I support her, my family member, all I support her. So I don't know how to contribute whatever lead you get, at least maybe we'll country before now. The best person one, not because of this na SLPP or this na APC.
Well, Richard, the only thing I can say to both of you is that we can forget political tolerance. All man get right for criticize the next candidate. You know, you talk about your candidate instead talk about you wanna criticize constructively. Let not be plabber. So we appreciate now too. Thank you so much, Richard.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks very much. Yeah, that's
yes,
very
sir.
Good. Yeah.
All right, and so we found within that, you know, just like we Abby talked before. I think say it's necessary for let we get specifics. Like when somebody can say no more blanketly. APC, SLPP, they all two not don't do nothing for Sierra Leone for 56 years. I mean, make you want for many people that go be specific. Tell me specifically for say A, B, C, D, you know, to Z or Z. Now these are the things the way the SLPP as a political party don't do way make Salon or go before. Then I can able to follow you on that, but not just give me blanket stuff. All right, somebody's calling, I think from Australia. Hello, who's calling? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, who's calling?
This is Mr. Jackman down on there.
Okay, oh yeah, from Australia. Yes, go ahead. You want for me comment?
Yeah, I want for my comment.
Go ahead.
You dey listen me?
Yeah, I did listen. Would they get you there on the ear?
Okay. You know, I did listen. I just woke up this morning because it's actually around 8 o'clock here in the morning. I just meet up the program, right? You know, I did see people and they comment, you know, all over the media for the past month since KKY formed in political party they call NTC. You don't understand?
Right.
People and they go on the rampage, they say KKY is the only candidate for lead the country, for transform the country. But what people they fail for understand or realize is that, you know, transformation and good governance, you know, means because this person educate or this person, you know, or it don't work. Now the places that what they call say this man don't work, or people waiting and corner, they bring transformation in a country. If you look at Paul Kagame of Rwanda, they not working at UN, not being combatant. You don't understand. A refugee, a child from a refugee, you know, even go school, they go in a refugee camp, you know, they decide say no, if I go back now in country for make people go bring peace now in country. You don't understand. They don't transform Rwanda with all the same. John Magufuli of how you call the place that man have been just a pharmacist. You don't understand. He decide for go, you know, even go out of the country for go do anything. But I don't decide for making people bring change that in country. You don't understand. Everybody they see, the whole world they see what John Magufuli they do right now. You don't understand.
Right.
Democracy is a foundation. People then for understand that. And that foundation, you not go learn in just 3 months or 4 months or even 1 year. You don't understand.
Right.
SLPP don't lay that foundation. And SLPP, what the SLPP don't do, I don't want to let anybody cry down SLPP. You don't understand. Because SLPP, the rule and rule Salon, they probably they tell me, say, during that time, Salon not ever reach during the time after independence, where SLPP be in power. They always tell me that.
Right.
You don't understand the country. They always tell me that. And from 1997, where SLPP come back in power, you don't understand. When them bring peace in Sierra Leone, the peace we they enjoy today. Now, one of the things that all Sierra Leoneans therefore commend SLPP for, because if peace not made in Sierra Leone up to this time, waiting for them to happen, or how many lives where Sierra Leone for don't lose up to this time? Because just imagine, you don't understand, Mr. Sheriff, when the first peace accord failed, where for the Sanko say peace before election, then the people say election before peace. For the Sanko the instruction, say in front of for the Sanko, now the mosquito give instruction to people and say yes, indeed. In the rebels then say let them cut hand. The people and where they say they want election before peace, let them begin cut hand. Where they see people and they go with short hand, long hand, and Freetown. You don't understand. That's why they go no say yes in the world in a salon.
Right. All right. Yes.
So they can't tell the people and the one for less salon they up to this time. Nobody now will pay SLPP for the peace where they bring na salon. Not even the APC where they try for do all kinds of things. Who side them be there? During the peace process, when they cause the war, who side APC been there? Nobody now will tell me say APC, not one pandemic member, be there on the peace process. Na salon one of them now the cause for bring the war na salon.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. Somebody has the call. We really appreciate your comments, them. Hello. Yeah, we really appreciate your comments, my brother. So right now, yes, somebody else don't come on board. Yes, hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hello. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Eddie Bayo.
Teddy Bayo from, you're calling from?
Australia.
Okay, yes, go ahead, Teddy.
Australia. Yeah, I tell you thank you anyway, because I know they follow up the program for long. And I just try to talk, there's no comparison to the platform make between APC and SLPP. I've gone inside on our chapter 7. I want what I call my government at that time we did one. Last time I began with politics, waiting on rough politics. Okay, we don't come, NPRC, they come in and they come with SLPP. But with that time when SLPP come into the way the structure of the country, look, any chiefdom at that country, they make sure for say they get a hospital, a health center, and a secondary school. Any chiefdom so far, the SLPP go down there. Waiting at the road construction business, really APC, they go start today. Now, SLPP initiate them and they do some of the road set. They left the money, so we're not going to talk about that. And now people they try to change. You know, young fella, they come into salon politics. But even Australia, I won't get. Nobody know the best party. Not two major parties, there's 5 parties there. Or two major parties, Labour and Libra. Always now they fight for that seat of power there. Nobody know the commander was in the job now window, you come, you say the country not people Labour and lie. Nobody know the commander was in the come, you say the country not people Libra and lie. All those hierarchy rules. Inside Labour right now, we know the party we support. We know after being short, when they come out, who are the next people there, who they're in a line for that short today.
So section, right? Okay. Yeah, so Teddy, now the time that we'll get, we appreciate your comments, and of course, just go to follow we will always entertain good comments then from you, but we appreciate you calling from Australia. Thank you so much, yeah? All right, and so my family, that's what we have for today. Of course, we'll not take any more calls, but one for tell now plenty. Thank you for our time. Of course, we'll go for an important meeting right now. So, but one for tell now plenty. Thank you for all the comments, but whether bad or good, the only thing we want to say, 2 things I want to end this broadcast with today. One, where people then they cry APC SLPP down. Don't give blanket statement. Oh, APC and SLPP from independence to now 56 years, they not don't do nothing for the country. When you talk like that, it is so broad. Give us specifics, you know, like how we can do now no more. Give us specific things the way APC don't do, we make Sierra Leone go bien. Give us specific things the way SLPP do, we make Sierra Leone go bien. When you talk like that, then you are being you are being just, or you are being, honest with your points them. But when you give blanket statement, it's like there is a hidden motive somewhere. You just want to get rid of these 2 political parties. There is no specific reason, right? Because like when me they think now, so I don't know. I don't follow the history from 1961 to 2017. Between the 2 political parties, the SLPP don't rule Sierra Leone for 17 years, APC don't rule Sierra Leone for 34 years. Between the 2 political parties, then I know say then they would operate with 2 different, agenda. APC anytime when they're in power, either now then they cause or now naturally they happen, but Sierra Leone they go through a lot of problems. When SLPP they in power from 1961 all the way to 2017, all the times the way SLPP don't in power. Now problems that it is solved in the country, So now that's me know about these 2 political parties. Now the other new political parties that will come, it's good because that's the beauty of democracy. When they come, if they get the message of change, if that change message they resonate with the people, then they will left unto the people they let them decide, right? But I'm not keen elect that blanket statement with people that can give all the time. But anyway, this is our first broadcast in the new year 2018. We want to take this moment for wishing you all a happy new year, a new year full of good health, prosperity, and everything good that you are wishing for yourselves. And once more, Mina Ibrahim Sheriff, I come to you from Houston, Texas. And of course, this is Sheriff's Broadcast Network. So one for may stick around as we continue to bring the programs. And this is how we are going to end it now, actually. Thank you very much.
What a matter. You been tell me say you go stay by me. All the time when the trouble come, I know see you by my side. You been tell me, say, show me the love way I desire, the way I desire. When the rain they come, I now see you by my side. When the rain they come, I now see you by my side. Sweet desire, you know me sweet desire. Tell me what make you do this to me, my sweet desire. Sweet desire, you know me sweet desire. Tell me what make you do this to me, my sweet desire. In a matter, in a matter. Now say, you gon' stay by me. All the time when the trouble come, I know see you by my side. You been tell me, say, show me the love way I desire, the way I desire. What you make you let me go? When the rain they come, I now see you by my side. I know see you, baby girl. When the rain they come, I now see you by my side. Sweet desire, you know me sweet desire. Tell me what make you do this to me, my sweet desire. Sweet desire, you know me sweet desire. Tell me what make you do this to me, my sweet desire. Tell me, say, you go stay. Show me the love. Tell me, say, you go stay. Show me the love. Namusuna, musuna, musuna, musuna. Namusuna, musuna, musuna, musuna. Namusuna, musuna, musuna, musuna. Namusuna, musuna, musuna, musuna. Sweet desire, you know me sweet desire. Tell me what make you do this to me, my sweet desire. Sweet desire, you know me sweet